YouTube, my name is Mesa Sean and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Alright folks, in this video we're going to go over the weekly reset for the week of August 6th. It is the second week of the Solstice of Heroes live event, and sound off in the comments section, have you guys been enjoying it and how far along are you with the grind? I know myself, I'm still on my first character, which is my Warlock, but I should have the renewed set done hopefully tonight. The hardest part is the helmet, where you need to get 100 mini-boss kills, but I'm going to share with you a cheese that I believe DPJ found, so I will link his channel in the description. Now, to complete this cheese, you need a fire team, so either get some friends together, or use LFG, or use the Destiny Companion app. I think everyone is looking to do this. Go into the European Aerial Zone with your fire team, and hopefully you can get the one that has 3 Cabal bosses at the end. You kill 2, you leave 1 alive. When you leave that 1 alive, a Scion is going to spawn in, a yellow bar Scion. It's going to spawn in every 30 to 40 seconds. Make sure everyone gets a shot on the Scion, and you do that in about an hour and 48 minutes, you'll get it done. That's how long it took us to get that done last night. Sorry, I don't have any footage, and if I do have any footage, I'm going to overlay it right now. Another tip too, guys, from CbGray. He's another good YouTuber you might want to check out. He streams on YouTube like I do also. He also put up a video on how to get those melee ability kills. I did not know this, but you could use your sword hilt for that. So I'm going to link his video in the description, but he says in his video, you put on a sword of whatever element you need those kills for, and this is melee ability final blows. And then what you do is you use the hilt of that sword to kill ads, and that's it. You will get that done in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. So check that video out and give him a sub. Link will be in the description. Let's get into this weekly reset, folks. For the Nightfall strikes this week, we have the Lake of Shadows, the Hollowed Lair, and the Will of a Thousands. For the Nightfall Strike exclusive loot, Will of a Thousands has a transmat effect. The Hollowed Lair will have the Mindbender's Ambition shotgun, and Lake of Shadows has a kinetic grenade launcher called the Malicious Birthright. For the Majestic set of the Solstice gear, for the chest piece, I believe, you need to get 200K for your Nightfall score. So here's how I would set up the card. Not like this. This is my 100K setup. My boy Rocco and Son of Krypton, they got this done. So they set it up with a 200 power handicap. That's what I would set it to. Now for modifiers, you want to put on a burn of your choice, and you want to go with Blackout, you want to go at Match Game, and you also want to go with Grounded. That'll give you a pretty good multiplier. Match Game, just be careful with it. When you put on Match Game, just make sure everyone is running around with at least one other element to take down shields. So like, let's say you're doing Match Game with Solar. Yeah, Solar's going to help melt everything, but you want to make sure you throw in some Arc and Void weapons to take down those pesky shields. For the rest of the burns this week, for the Vanguard strikes, what do we have? It is Void Week this week, and today are your 2 daily modifiers. You have Iron and you have Heavyweight, so make sure you bring your power weapons. These 2 will change daily, and that'll be the same for your Vanguard strikes and also for your daily heroic story missions. Same thing with the good old Menagerie. You've got Void Singe, you've got Iron, and you have Heavyweight. But let's take a look and go see what the Menagerie Heroic has in store for us this week. We have Extinguish, which means you'll go back to orbit if you all die. You've got Iron, we've got Blackout, and we have Void Singe. So this will not have matchmaking, the heroic version of the Menagerie. No, you need to form up a fire team. The flashpoint this week is over on Mars, and it's kind of convenient because if you would like to get the Escalation Protocol shotgun, that's the only weapon that will drop from the boss this week. So like I always say, you do not have to open up the final chest, you just need to kill the final boss over and over and pray that he drops it for you. The good old Icolo shotgun. Alright, the usual for your flashpoint, just simply do public events, do your daily heroic, which I think I got to grab from Anna Bray here. It should be showing up on the map, but it's not. And also, you might want to do some Lost Sectors. The Lost Sectors, they will give you about 10%. The Heroic Adventure over on Mars should give you about 30 to 35%. For the Crucible this week, the weekly playlist is double, so either grab a friend and have a 2v2 showdown, or just go in and matchmake with someone. Or if you just want to play quick play, competitive, or rumble, your usual milestones, you've got 1 match will give you powerful gear, 5 matches will give you powerful gear as well. Checking out the Reckoning, and remember, we're getting an update or a buff to the weapon drops for both the Reckoning and also Gambit Prime sometime when we get 2.5.2.2, and that update is not coming until September. Alright, let's look. This week we have Solar Singe, and today we've got Attrition and we have Grenadier. I hope with that update we get more people in the Reckoning, because I need to get more of those weapons, and every time I go into the Reckoning, it's a horror show in terms of matchmaking. Alright, you need to progress to 100 to get some powerful gear, but you want to do tiers 2 and tier 3 to get there faster. Gambit Prime, the usual, do 4 and you would get powerful gear. Gambit, play 3 regular Gambit matches, you would get powerful gear. And go see the Drifter, he has a weekly bounty that will give you powerful gear. Last night I was using it to farm for Solar Guardian kills, and I played one match and I got 12 solar kills. Because I believe the Guardians defeated with solar weapons, I believe it counts your teammates as well. So if you're invading or you're being invaded and you get a solar weapon kill, that's going to count. But I think also anyone on your team, if they get a solar weapon kill, it should count towards this. I'm not 100% sure. You let me know in the comments section. You know better than me. Over in the Dreaming City, the curse is at its strongest, which means the Shattered Throne is available this week. Now, to masterwork one of the pieces of gear, you need to do it or complete the dungeon with 2 players or less. But fear not, you do not have to get it done before the Solstice live event ends. You could do it afterwards. Dylan from Bungie did tweet out, as long as you have the legendary set of gear, the Majestic set, you can get this done after the live event ends. However, if you've got the legendary set, you know what, you might as well just get it done this week. Alright, let's look at her usual bounties. We've got the story mission, Dark Monastery. We've got War for the Dreaming City, complete some daily bounties. We have the Ascendant Challenge, and we have Gateway Between Worlds, where you simply play the Blind Well. For the Ascendant Challenge, it's a fun one. Make your way over to this lost sector right here, and this one's a fun one. You've got some blights. You run into the blights with a shotgun, I would recommend, your Icalo shotgun. Kill the blights, and then when you go to the middle, there's going to be a whole bunch of crystals, and you're going to have a bunch of knights running around trying to kill you. Once you destroy the blights, the crystals will become unimmune, because they're immune when you first go in there. You kill all the crystals, the knights will die, and you're done with this challenge. I will link in the description a video of me doing it from a few weeks ago. Over at the tower, let's check in with all of the vendors. So starting off with Benedict 99, you've got your usual consumables here. This one will give you some more Imperials. This one here will give you some more runes. Let's check out the bounties, and all of these will give you some powerful gear. We've got experience gained, so just simply play the game. I'm going to grab you. Trial of Valor, complete Vanguard daily bounties. Enemies defeated, kill 200 enemies with submachine guns, shotguns, and sidearms, or swords. Then we have salvage goods. Loot legendary engrams from the ground in any activity. As usual with 801, as long as you've got some ballistics logs, you can forge some powerful gear weapons, but she also has some pretty good bounties that I usually like to grab. I'm not going to go through them, but if you need to get ballistics logs to forge any of these weapons, you need to complete the daily bounties. So one is to complete the weekly bounties. One is to complete 7 daily bounties, and also one of them is just simply completing the forge ignitions. But also, I would frequently come back here and check out what kind of black armory mod you can get. I'm always looking for Rampage spec or Dragonfly spec, and let's see, what can I get here? I got Sprint Grip. Okay, that's not what I wanted. And as we go check in with the Drifter, you know what, if you're going from green to blue, you're still on the green set. As you're completing bounties, save all of them, because when you're on the blue set, you're going to need to complete 50 bounties, so you want to hoard as many bounties as possible. So if you're going to be playing Gambit, well, just grab all of these right here. They're going to give you infamy, but they're also going to count as bounties. Same thing with all of the Gambit Prime bounties. And right now, with all the orbs and the buffs that you can get from creating orbs of the element, and what is today? I'll check it out in a second. They do not work in Gambit Prime, but regular Gambit and regular Quick Play, they do take effect. But Gambit Prime and Competitive, the whole giving yourself a buff with elemental orbs does not come into play. Let's see what today is. Today for the European Aerial Zone, it is Searing Arclight. Okay, today is Arc, so you want to make sure you use your Arc subclasses as well as your Arc weapons to make some Arc orbs. As you're doing all your various activities, you want to make sure you check in with Soraya Hawthorne once you've hit 5,000 XP to get some powerful gear. Also complete 20 bounties, but I would hold off on that if you're going from green to blue, because you need to save those 20 bounties for when you get the blue set of gear for Solstice of Heroes. I check in with Banshee every single day and make sure I grab these bounties. They're usually very, very easy, which will give you some mod components and enhancement cores. Here, calibrate solar weapons against any target. Simple. Calibrate rocket launchers against enemy targets. That's easy. Hand cannon kills. Yeah, so easy. I would grab those every single day. All right, let's check out. Let's see what Eva Levante has for us today. I really haven't been doing any of her bounties. I mean, each one of them only gives you, what, 5 key fragments? And you could pretty much get them doing anything anywhere. Defeat enemy combatants in the European aerial zone. Well, actually, no, some of the requirements I think you need to, from the green gear, you need to complete some of her bounties. But the blue set, you don't. We've got some bounties here. Yeah, so you got a weekly bounty. You know, you might as well just grab that bounty because it's going to be easy. And it will give you some powerful gear. High value targets. We've got public events. Might as well just, you know, I'll grab them later. Enemies defeated. Defeat taken combatants in the European aerial zone using an arc subclass. We've got, what else? In the Thunderclouds. Let's see. Defeat enemy combatants in the European aerial zone using arc sub. Yeah, today's arc, so that's why these are related to arc. Yep, another one. Defeat enemy combatants in the European aerial zone with arc weapons. And then once you get all 3 of your characters with the legendary set, well, you can grab the SRL Sparrow from Sparrow Racing from Destiny 1, the Void Streak. Alright, lastly, let's go check in with Eververse and see what she has. For sale, what does she have? Okay, she has the ornament for the Borealis, and I think that looks, yeah, that looks pretty cool. Look, it's got the little name on the side. It will change colors, I'm assuming, when you change the element, and that is for cool 1250 Bright Dust. Alright, we have the Electronica shell here with Public Defender, increased loot from public events on all destinations, Omni Telemetry, and a random mod. We'll roll on that one. We've got a Sparrow here. Let's see what other things she has for Bright Dust for sale. We've got the Breathe In you can get for Bright Dust. Let's take a look at that. I am short on Bright Dust because I spent all of it on getting the Armor Glows. Okay, that's what that looks like. We've got the Shaded Shell. We've got the Boya Shell. Well, hold on, let's see. All right, both... Boya, sorry, I said that wrong. These both have Guiding Light. Guiding Light will give you increased XP gains anywhere you go in the solar system. Now, when I play Destiny 2, I have 2 ghost shells I use. This one here, Treasure Hunter, which detects the caches, but then also gives me extra glimmer. But when I want XP, I always have this one here that also gives me, that has Guiding Light, so that'll give me XP anywhere I go in the system. And I save these pretty much, I have a ghost shell for every single destination, whether it's detecting caches or detecting resources. It may come in handy with Shadowkeep if they're making us farm for materials. We will have to see. Alright, let's go back to this page here. Did we check everything? Alright, I already bought this stuff here. Is anything new? No, this is all stuff we looked at last week that you can buy with silver, but we're more concerned with what you can buy with Bright Dust. So let's go back down here. Yeah, so it looks like these shells both have Guiding Light. So try to grab one. You might need it for when the Solstice of Heroes, no, I'm sorry, when Shadowkeep comes out, if they raise the level cap. We've got the Legacy 2 Sparrow. That's the boat shell. And yeah, they were right, guys. I mean, everything right away was for sale with silver, but looks like they're slowly moving everything over with good old Bright Dust. We have the Flick of the Wrist. Alright, that's interesting, but I'm kind of saving my Bright Dust. But you can pretty much just dismantle everything because they're gonna, I got a notice right when I logged in that any of your armor that came from Eververse that would break down to Bright Dust is going to break down into legendary shards at some point. We have the triumphant projection, and I can't talk at the end of the video. Alright, a bunch of stuff here. We got some shaders, and also these bounties here. Always grab these because these will count towards your regular bounties for Ikora Ray, or even the 50 bounties that you need to turn in for your blue gear. So that is it, guys. So leave me a good old hashtag made it to the end. If you did make it to the end, consider becoming a channel member and join up in our private Discord. We got a lot of fun things going on, and that is it, guys. So leave me a good old hashtag made it to the end if you did make it to the end, and do me a favor, drop a like in this video only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at Mesa Sean. Check out my stream, usually and always on YouTube, and that's it. I am out of here like Vladimir.